afternoon, everybody. Happy to see everybody here. And uh, I'll be talking today about press by LASIK planning. What I will be talking about more is SupraCore, because that's the platform which I work on. Next speakers would highlight more about other platforms of press by LASIK. So SupraCore is a platform in which there is a central 3 millimeters bump which is created by laser, and this central 3 millimeters is responsible for near vision, and 3 to 6 millimeters is the area which is responsible for distance vision, and in between we have a smooth transition which is an improved transition, because of which we hardly have seen any glare and halos, because this is basically like creating a multifocality on the cornea. So these are the supracore bumps of hyperopia and myopia, and as you can see that there is a central steepening which is responsible for the near vision. The principle is that as when we start reading, the pupil constricts and the central 3 millimeters becomes more active. But when we are viewing for distance, our pupil dilates and 3 to 6 millimeters becomes more active, and hence we can see good for distance. A few things that we need to know is that since it's like creating a multifocality, there is always a slight impact on distance vision, because when we are viewing for distance, then rays are also passing through the central 3 millimeters. And if the pupil is small, for example, in sunlight, there will be more of this impact on distance vision. This is just a single step, because when we talk about multifocality on the cornea, there is always a fear of glare halos and decreased contrast. But in our series, we've hardly seen all these complications. And this is probably because this is just a single step and it's a smooth transition, the single step is different from creating multiple rings on the cornea. So in any evaluation of press by LASIK, counseling becomes a very important part, as it becomes similar to as important it is for implantations. So first thing that we need to explain to the patient is that presbyopia cannot be cured, and whatever we are doing is to decrease the dependence on glasses, and it's a trade-off between the near and the distance vision, because we are making the one eye better for distance and the other eye better for near. Secondly, we need to explain that this is a temporary measure, because it is up to +2 diopters which we are correcting. Hence, the age group that is most ideal for this is 40 to 55 years of age. Beyond this age, say when a patient becomes around 60 and the power near vision power is around +3, then also we have corrected 1.75 to +2, because that's our maximum limit. Hence the power would be around +1, so the dependence would be less on glasses compared to what the patient would have had if he had a power of +3. The third thing that we need to look into is if the patient has any lenticular changes, because if there is a cataract there, then it is better to remove the cataract and put a bifocal or a trifocal lens rather than doing a press by LASIK. So in clinical evaluation, since this is a pupil-dependent procedure, checking the pupil size obviously becomes important. There has to be a minimum pupil size, otherwise the effect of supracore would be gone. You also have to check simultaneously if the pupil dilates centrally or eccentrically. If it dilates eccentrically, then again you would have a suboptimal effect. You have to ensure a proper centration. For this, angle kappa has to be kept in mind. If the angle kappa is high, then it is better to not do this procedure, especially in hyperopes, where we find that there is a high angle kappa. If it is between 4 to 8, there are certain machines, like for example this Bausch & Lomb Teneo machine, where you can change the aiming beam, and you can move your aiming beam and get it more nasally or temporally, depending upon whatever your angle kappa is. The best results with this press by LASIK are in hyperopes. In hyperopes, we tend to do a bilateral treatment approach, in which the dominant eye is treated with what is called a mild or a soft supracore, where a near add of +1.25 to 1.5 is given. The non-dominant eye is treated with a regular or a standard supracore, where a near add of around +2 is given, which means that the dominant eye is made better for distance and the non-dominant eye is made better for near. In myopia, generally a monolateral treatment approach is taken, where in the dominant eye, a simple LASIK is done, and in the non-dominant eye, a regular supracore is done. And these are the patients which become happier if you just do a LASIK in one eye and PresbyLASIK in the other eye. For this, we do a preoperative simulation test, which is a simple test where we put a trial pin, we 0.5, and this simulates the potential blur. And if the patient is happy with this, then we know that this will be a happy patient in the postoperative period. And similarly, we put the plus 1.75 on non-dominant eye and 1.25 on the dominant eye. And if the patient is happy, then we know that this is going to be a happy patient. So, these cases are actually showing similar things where what I've already discussed. So we can skip this since we already have less time. So I would end by saying that a good planning based upon what the refractive error of the patient is will give optimum results in PresbyLASIK patients, and a good counseling will further enhance these results. And before I leave, a Women Ophthalmologist Society is coming out with a special issue of rare eye diseases, which will come out in early next year, and we all invite your submissions for this.